Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to another session of the Open Diner. Great to see everyone. So tonight we're going to be, the topic, we're going to be talking about the secret or the trick to being happy. So it's going to be a really smiley event and we're going to have a good time. So it's a cameras on event. If you could turn your camera on, it helps us connect better. And if you're joining on Facebook or YouTube, please tell us where you're from, your name, and if you can take part in the sessions that we have. You can answer the questions and we'll try to read them. Also here, if you can stay on topic and try to speak briefly, because we want to give everybody a chance to speak. And always remember to mute your microphone after you're done speaking. So we're going to start with a little introduction. It's a fun game we're going to play, and Roberta's going to tell us all about it. Roberta.
Okay. Thank you, Carl. Hi, everybody. I see we have some new faces here and some friends that joined before. Hello. So the topic tonight is a trick to being happy. So we're going to talk about smiling. You know, smiling triggers a powerful chemical reaction in our brain that makes us feel happier. Even forcing a fake smile can reduce stress and lower your heart rate. By seeing others' smiles, we actually experience a physical change that enhances our own feelings of happiness. So this game we're going to do tonight is different than we usually do, but it's going to be fun. We're going to introduce ourselves like this. So we're going to have a smile on our face, right? I'm going to explain it this way. I have a smile on my face. I take the smile and I'm going to say my name, where I'm from, pick somebody and throw a smile to them. And then they're going to pick up, say where they're from, and then they're going to introduce themselves and throw their smile to somebody else. Now, you're probably saying, how are we going to know who to pick that has a smile? So it's a little bit of acting tonight. So if you receive a smile, you're going to smile. If you did not receive a smile, do not smile. So a little, be somber. If anybody joins in the beginning, they're going to say, this is not a very happy crowd, but eventually we're all going to be smiling. So it's pretty simple. I'm going to start off and I'll throw it to, so I'm smiling. No one's smiling. Okay. So I take my smile and I'm going to say my name. I'm Roberta from Long Island, New York, and I'm going to take my smile and throw it to Dan. Yep.
I'm going to catch the smile. I'm Dan. I'm from Canada. And I take my smile. I'm going to throw it over to Judy.
Hi, I'm Judy. I'm from St. Louis, and I'm going to throw my smile to, who should I pick? Shirley.
Just unmute yourself, Shirley. Up, you got to hit unmute. Hold the smile with the hand. There you go.
I don't see people. I only see you.
Okay. Well, I have a smile. I'll tell you what. Throw the smile to, let's say,
right. But what do I do so I can see everyone?
You're going to go on the top right. It should say view. And it should say gallery. And hit gallery.
Up there. Okay. This is the first time I'm on the pad. I'm usually on my iPhone. First night I'm on the pad. I'm having, okay. Well, here's my smile. Give it to somebody.
We'll throw it to Brandon.
Okay. Brandon.
Very good.
I'm Brandon. I'm from the Bronx, New York. And I throw my smile to Carl.
All right. Thanks, Brandon. My name is Carl. I'm from Florida, and I throw my smile to Rono.
Hi, I'm Rono. I'm from Rotterdam, the Netherlands, and I'm throwing my smile at Paula.
Thank you, Rono. I think I have it. Paula from New York. I'm going to throw my smile to Gary.
I got it. See, it works. And I'm Gary. I'm from Greenville, South Carolina. And I'm going to throw my smile to Wendy.
I see you trying
Oh, hold
to.
on a second. I dropped it. Oh, hold on a second. I dropped it. Oh, okay. And my lamp is gone. Oh, okay. I got it. I'm Wendy Rainbow. I'm in Long Island, New York. And it's good because it was really hard to hold back that smile. So thank you very much. And I'm going to send it to Natalia.
Thank you. Yeah, it's hard to hold back on the smile. I'm Natalia from Chicago, and I'm going to throw my smile to Sid.
Thank you. Thank you. Finally, I can smile also. I hate to be serious, to be honest. I'm Siv from Norway, and I'm a nurse. I'm sending my smile to who didn't get the smile yet. Alicia, here you go. You get double up.
Thank you so much. It is so hard, Mamma Mia, not to smile. It is really, oh my gosh. So thank you very much. We're back to US. I'm Elisa from Brooklyn, New York, and I'm sending my smile to Nina.
Got it. I'm Nina from Brooklyn, New York as well. And I'm throwing my smile to Ilana.
Thank you, Nina. Finally, I can smile too. Who didn't go? I think everybody went already. Everybody's smiling and so happy. So I'm returning the smile to you, Roberta.
Oh, to me, okay. I think we're all smiling. I see Jacob
Yes.
just joined. Jacob, if you could hear us, if you
Yes.
turn on your camera, that would be great. We're playing a
Yeah,
connection.
in a minute.
Sure, no problem. We'll get you on the next one. So if everybody went and we're all smiling, I think it worked. And we all introduced ourselves. So we'll go to Carl. And he's gonna
Yeah. All right. So it was so hard for all of us not to smile. It was so hard to sit there and be somber. And there's a lot of science behind that. So in life, we see that most people chase after short-term happiness. For example, like everybody wants a new car, a delicious meal, sex, drinking alcohol, or any other activity that temporarily triggers the release of dopamine in the brain. That's why we go after these temporary pleasures. There's nothing wrong with these pleasures. They're short-lived. That's all. And if you only chase short-lived pleasures, your whole life becomes chase after pleasures and escape from pain, right? There's much more pain than pleasure in life. And after a while, if you're chasing after these short-term pleasures, it's exhausting. So what gives long-term pleasure? What gives long-term happiness? It's building healthy relationships with others. There's a scientific reason, and it's that we're all social creatures. We're wired for connection. When we build connection with others, there's serotonin. It's more free flowing, and the brain releases feel-good chemicals, and you remain in a peak state. That's something to smile about. So one of the most effective things you can work on in order to achieve long-term happiness is improving the quality of your relationships with others. You can work on building more positive and supportive relationships with your friends, with your family, your significant others, and you can develop a more helpful attitude to people that you encounter on a daily basis. Additionally, happiness, it's contagious. You see how here it was hard to not to smile. Well, if somebody's laughing in a room, soon the whole room is laughing, right? And we're all influenced by our environment. And if we can make our environment happy, we increase our own level of happiness. And lastly, happiness happens when you give it away. So here's an example, like Joe Schmo from the street. He wants everybody to serve him, right? He has high expectations of the world. He expects people to cater to his plans, right? Meet his needs and reward him. And he's not happy. Consequently, he's not a happy camper. So he has all these expectations, and like when he goes to the restaurant, he sees that the service is slow, the commute takes too long, his employees don't remember his name quick enough, and he's always disappointed and miserable, right? So if you make your happiness dependent on how others serve you, you'll always be disappointed, right? So find happiness in serving others, and you can complete that sentence. All right. So we have another fun activity. We're going to have an icebreaker now, and Roberta's going to do that. Roberta.
All right. We have another fun one. Ready? So this icebreaker is called the common denominator game. Okay. With this game, the first person's going to talk for a few moments about what makes you happy. The next person takes something from what you have said, which the first person said, and uses that to talk about their own happiness. For example, let's say, maybe I'll start actually. It's kind of simple once you hear it. So I'll start off. I'll say, what makes me happy? It's 4th of July weekend. My family comes to Long Island. My friends come to Long Island. We have time to hang out for a long stretch of time, a couple of days. We swim, we listen to music, play games. We have time together to actually talk. So that's enjoyable for me. That makes me happy, especially after COVID. Things are opening up here, so that makes me happy. Now, if anybody feels that resonates with them, what I had said, expand on it does it expand to your happiness? Oh, Nina already picked. Anybody could chime in when it resonates with you. Anybody could just open your mic and then add. And I see Nina just did. So go ahead, Nina.
Family makes me very happy as well. My family is in Texas, and I'm going to visit them in August. I have 2 little nieces. One is 3, the other is a little over 1. I love taking care of them and playing with them, and it just brings lots of joy to my heart. So that makes me happy.
Yes, I have. What makes me happy too is family. And since last year we couldn't get together, but now I can hardly wait to be with my soon to be 3-year-old great granddaughter, who's smart as a whip. She loves playing outside. We play outdoor games, and the guys fix the food. It's just wonderful. It's like a real homecoming. So can't wait. That makes me happy.
A good meal with the family and friends is really something that makes me happy. It's a joint, simple way to connect, and it's too little of this in these days. So yeah, and travel to visit friends always made me happy. And this is something I really, really miss these days. I don't miss traveling. Funny enough, I've been traveling a lot, but I really miss to be with friends. And picnic in New York is one of the things I miss really, really much.
Yeah, being with friends for me is the thing that makes me happy, and doing things with them. I mean, I love going for walks. I live in a beautiful area where there's a lot of nature. There's a lot of places, beautiful places to walk, a lot of parks to go to, but I'd rather do it with somebody and share the experience. Going out for a meal with them. I think that's, it's fun. It's fine doing those things by myself, but it's really fun when you can share it with somebody else.
Yeah, I think that I love having friends over, watching wrestling, and doing things together makes me happy.
Have we discussed what the difference between happiness and pleasure?
We will tonight. We have a full program. You're going to really like it, Jacob. If you want to add to what something that Gary just said, we're talking about what makes you happy, and it's a common denominator game. So if you feel something resonate, just also, you didn't introduce yourself. I know we had a game before this, an introduction.
Right. I'm
game.
Jacob. I'm from New York City, Upper Manhattan, Washington Heights. Yeah, happiness. See, I use happiness to mean a state with no beginning and no end, meaning a constant state of happiness. Whereas pleasure has a beginning and an end. And when there's no happiness, the organism seeks pleasure as a poor substitute, because with pleasure comes sorrow. They move together. If you increase pleasure, you will increase sorrow. We're always moving like a roller coaster, like pleasure, sorrow, pleasure, sorrow. We never get to the happiness, which is beyond pleasure and sorrow.
Tell us, Jacob, wait, before you go further, what makes you happy? We're playing a game here, like a connection game, just short, brief. Everybody's going to speak briefly, so we have a lot.
See, again, I wouldn't use that language for myself. I would use what brings delight.
Okay,
delight.
What brings you delight? What brings you delight?
Being in nature.
Okay, so let someone now pick up. If somebody resonates with nature, someone else is going to speak. It's a continuation. Just briefly, we're just doing a connection game. We have later time to speak in depth about this. We have some workshop questions. You're going to love it, Jacob. Believe me, we all will. Does anybody resonate with nature here?
Yeah, I like being in nature. I like gardening. Sometimes I get carried away, and I have way too many tomato plants. Does anybody resonate with gardening or nature?
I definitely resonate with that, and it makes me happy every day. Before in December, I planted probably 25 different plants, and half of them are fruit trees that I never even heard of before. And every day I go out there, and there's a handful of these strawberries on a strawberry tree. I've never seen them before, and it's amazing. So it makes me really happy to go out in nature and plant things. Yeah.
I think Wendy wanted to add. I know she's unmuted. She tried a couple of times, and obviously nature or gardening, something resonates with you, Wendy?
Well, it was a lot about the friendship, but the gardening, I'm here. My husband is in the backyard gardening. So of course, I love him and his gardening. I'll probably bring in some tomatoes and some beans. So he's out there while I'm on the computer. But with the friends and family, having friends over, when we bought our house now 7 years ago, one of the requirements is that be really good parking allowed so that we could have vegan potlucks in our home. And especially at times at Thanksgiving, we invite our friends over who we know having Thanksgiving with their family, just like mine, would be you have to look at the turkey and you have to look at the other things. So I like that we have this space where people can come and not have to explain why they're vegan. Oh, where do you get your protein? So that we can all just together and relax and share those experiences. So that was having place for our friends to come together was always a part of, for me and my husband, requirement. That parking was easy and a nice space and lots of gardening space.
Wendy, Thanksgiving, that makes me very happy. I love the turkey and everything that comes with it. Also, what makes me happy is laughter. A good laugh is the best medicine, always.
Absolutely, I agree. About anything, everything, nothing at all, just bah. I agree. Laughter.
I see Marie just joined. We have a couple of friends without the camera. If you can put your camera on. Yes, Marie. Ricardo, if you can put your camera on, that'd be great. If anybody didn't go yet, I think Kathy, Marie. If nothing resonated and you just joined, just tell us what makes you happy. And maybe somebody could connect now from this point.
What makes
Oops, go ahead. Go.
my grandchildren make me happy. There's not much these days to be happy about, especially living alone. But I got my new air conditioner the other day. I'm all set, so I'm happy.
Yeah, I will relate to you know, kids. I walk on a beach a lot, and right now it's summertime, and there's so many children, all ages you can imagine, and the sounds and the happiness they produce near the water, near the ocean, it is unbelievable. No matter what mood you go there, you end up being the happiest person in the world.
I think Ricardo didn't go. Thank you for putting the camera on. Hello.
Oh, hi.
Does
not
anything
sure.
resonate after all these friends spoke? Maybe you could add something that links to you also.
That's why I'm here.
Makes you happy is the question. Maybe you missed the question.
Oh, how about nature? I like being outside.
Beautiful. A couple people said that already. Did anybody not speak that hasn't spoken yet?
Al put something in the chat. He says, laughter gets me through these constant technical difficulties.
Yeah, and if everyone else has spoken, can I just say that to tie into nature and seeing children, just the beauty of the world, and small furry animals can just brighten your mood, you know, in the blink of an eye.
Thank you, Al. Well, I think everybody spoke. Yes? Yes? Okay. Well, the one thing that I could say, I took notice what everybody spoke about. It has to do with connection and family and friends, and it really comes down to connecting with others. And I think that what is really comes down to the happiness. So thank you for everybody sharing. We have a great evening tonight, and I'm going to hand it back over to Carl. Thank you.
All right. Now we're ready to hear the trick to being happy. We're going to watch a video about that. Here we go.
Acts of kindness, acts of generosity is how simple it is to make people feel good. I was walking down the streets of New York City, and a guy walking in front of me, his backpack opened and a bunch of paper fell out on the street. I didn't think much of it. I bent down, I gathered up the papers, handed them back to him, and pointed out that his bag had opened. Now, in our bodies, there's a chemical called oxytocin. Oxytocin is responsible for all the warm and fuzzies, unicorns and rainbows. It's responsible for all the warm feelings and connectedness we have with each other. Friendship, love. Huge amounts of oxytocin surge through a woman's body as she gives birth. This is what is responsible for the mother-child bond. Oxytocin binds human beings. There are many ways to get oxytocin. One of them is acts of kindness and acts of generosity. It feels good when we do something nice for someone. It feels good when someone does something nice for us. On this particular day, I did something for someone with no expectation of anything in return. I got a little surge of oxytocin. I felt good. He turned to me and he said, "Thank you. It feels nice when someone does something for us with no expectation of anything in return." He felt good. I walked to the end of the street. I'm waiting to cross the street. And a total stranger who happened to be standing next to me said, "I saw what you did back there. That was really cool." As it turns out, witnessing an act of generosity releases oxytocin, and he felt good. And the best part about oxytocin is the more oxytocin we have in our bodies, the more generous we become. It is Mother Nature's way of trying desperately to get us to look after each other. I can guarantee you that that man who witnessed what I did something nice for somebody that day simply because he saw someone do something nice for somebody that day. So what if we commit to do something nice for someone with no expectation of anything in return? Imagine what happens at work, imagine what happens at home, imagine what happens with our friends. But it must be genuine.
All right, friends, we're going to move into the roundtable discussion now. We have a couple questions we're going to ask, but first of all, we have some etiquette rules that we observe. There's some new people here, so we'll go over the etiquette rules, and this is how we do our roundtable. First of all, if we can get that slide. We're here to build a space of support, love, care, and warmth. First of all, everyone is equal and very important. Nobody is greater than the other, even your hosts. Even I'm not greater than you, I'm equal. So don't put me on a pedestal like you always do. Anyway, no, everyone is equal and very important. 2, we go around the table and speak briefly and on topic. That's very important because we have quite a few people here tonight and we want to make sure everybody gets a chance to speak. So don't, keep it under a minute and stay on topic. Number 3, listen attentively. It's very important. That's how we connect with each other and that's how we create happiness, is by listening to each other and creating that connection. And 4, there are no right or wrong answers. The truth is in the center of our connection. In other words, I always have this philosophy, just because I don't agree with somebody doesn't mean that they're wrong. It's everything, every contribution is part of the answer and every viewpoint is valid. And the truth comes when we combine all of our answers together. So let's go to our first question here. First question, you heard what he had to say about doing nice things. So the first question is, how can we do nice things for others with no expectation of anything in return? How can we do nice things for others with no expectation of anything in return? And give an example if possible. This is a tough one because when you examine everything, there's usually some little thing that you might expect in return, but kind of give us your ideas of how we can do nice things for others. Who wants to start? Go ahead, Brandon.
Yeah, I do volunteer work every Friday. So that's one way of showing love is by volunteering. And I do a food pantry, giving out food to the homeless and the needy neighbors. And it makes me feel good.
Dan, how about you?
Don't think, just kind of do it, help somebody. Don't calculate. Don't let the calculator run. Then you get a problem.
How about Nina?
Well, we started today by smiling. I think that's a very simple way that we can just, I read somewhere that even when you talk on the phone and you smile, meanwhile, the other person will be able to pick up on the fact that you're smiling and they'll be in a better mood and, there'll be a better connection between us. Just, I'm Russian. Russians have a hard time smiling. I'm trying to teach myself to smile more to make others feel good.
How about Judy?
Well, what I love to do is when I go shopping, there's one store that you have to pay, or you have to feed it a quarter to use it, the cart. So when I come out, I love to pass it on and then smile and tell them to please pass it on. And you get a smile back every time.
I know the store is always a great place to pass that kind of thing on. Paula, how about you?
I think by just doing what feels good. sort of like what Judy said, even like just returning the shopping cart to the area where the shopping carts go will really make the next person's day, that they don't have to go looking for one. So I think it's little things like that.
It's true. Easy to do. Roberta, how can we do things, nice things, without expecting anything in return? I know you're good at that.
Well, I don't know, maybe a little. I actually have an example. Maybe it is a good thing. UPS was here the other day, and it was 95 or 100 degrees, and he delivered the package. I didn't have to give him anything, but I felt so bad for the guy. No air conditioning, you know, wearing brown. So I gave him a couple nice iced waters and said, you know, stay cool. I wasn't expecting anything, but I thought that was a nice gesture. I wasn't looking for anything, but I would want the same for myself. There's probably a key to that. If I thought for myself what I wanted, do unto others, you know, that statement, whatever it is. But I thought of him, and he appreciated it greatly. So that was a nice act, I felt.
I used to work for the post office delivering mail, and I know what that feels like for somebody to do something like that. It's great. Mickey, haven't seen you for a while. Shirley, hi. How about
Hi.
you?
Just do it. Just do it. And you'll feel better about it.
That was nice and short and sweet and to the point. Perfect. Siv.
Yeah. I think the best thing one ever can do anyway is if you see any opportunity, that doesn't matter what it is, but if you see an opportunity that somebody of some reason needs some help, just give it. Just give it. If somebody asking for the direction of some place, just give it with a smile and in a good way. If you see whatever, it's always something. And sorry for I shouldn't talk this long, but at my workplace, we have an attitude of smiling a lot and giggling a little bit also, and that is something the patient pick up on. And this is the feedback we get all the time: is it's good to be there because they are hearing us laughing, and they seeing us smiling. That gives them much strength during the day. So just to show smile, and don't be so serious all the time.
That's great. How can you not be happy in Norway, though? Oh, I know Wendy has something to add. She probably has something great to add. You're muted. There you go.
Definitely the volunteering helps a lot. Like I volunteer at a animal shelter, so I'm just going and doing the litter boxes and sweeping in the cat section, and hoping that some of the cats will let me pet them, because I know them letting me pet them will get them more likely to be adopted. So I'm always like, can I please pet you? And of course I'm not expecting anything in return, except hopefully they'll be adopted and hopefully not scratch or bite. But another thing that also most of us were probably taught when we was a kid is to say thank you. Because even though the person might be doing it, not expecting anything in return, just that saying thank you and acknowledging that you appreciate what they did for you is something that always is good with that. But then I have something that goes with that. It's the I always had, when people would say I would do something for someone and they would say thank you, often I'd say no big problem, no big deal, my pleasure. But sometimes it was a big deal, and I was so uncomfortable saying you're welcome, acknowledging that it was a big deal. And then I'm like, why do I have and not giving myself credit for actually doing something that might have taken work? So that made me to make comfortable saying you're welcome. So that was an issue for me. Well, I can't, so saying that back. because my friend said it makes me feel good to do for you. So let me do something for you and let you so be willing to receive the thing I want to do for you. So there's also this balance of stuff. Oh, you don't need to help me. I could do it. But so just like we enjoy doing for other people, we have to let other people enjoy doing for us and to receive the pleasure. So just those things thinking about made a big difference in communication.
Yeah, and your cat back there thanks you too.
Yeah, that one came from our backyard.
Yeah. How about you, Rona?
I think that is very clear from all of those examples that friends already giving in this Zoom here, is that realizing that we have a lot to contribute to other people's lives with very little is the way we can do this, do the things without expecting anything in return. It can be as simple as continuing a conversation with a total stranger in a supermarket that just says hi, you say hi back, and you sustain the eye contact, and that can brighten someone's day.
So true. So true. Natalia.
Yeah, I'm thinking still, but really I like to help people. But my work is helping people. I'm a social worker. I do things for people, not expecting anything in return. Sometimes they say that appreciate it. Sometimes they don't. It doesn't matter. I feel satisfied if I helped somebody. And also, of course, I like to help my friends or somebody I don't even know well. Sometimes I think, how can I refer people to work if I don't know them? But somehow I hope they gonna behave well at work when I refer them. I just want to help them with their lives, and yeah, I don't think I want them to say help you, thank you. Sometimes you think I did so much for this person and this person didn't pay much attention to me, but then it doesn't matter. I understand it doesn't matter. So.
That's a big point right there. Doing something and the person, you realize maybe the person doesn't really appreciate it, but you did it anyway. I think that's a real sign of not expecting anything in return. Just to do it just because you felt that it was supposed to be done. Carl, how about you?
Yeah, most of you probably heard of this book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And in that book, he said, just notice people and maybe compliment them. And I was really young when I read this book, so I didn't do it for the longest time, but I've been doing it a lot lately, and it makes a huge difference. People are like, oh, really? Oh, thank you, So it works.
Kathy, have you ever done anything nice for somebody? I doubt it.
Y'all, I'll tell it quickly so that it goes by fast. A situation happened to me a couple of weeks ago. I was at work on a busy city sidewalk having a cigarette, and this homeless man comes and sits down. Again, this is so gross. Comes and sits down, and I move to the other side of the bench. And he says, lady, I'm human just like you, blah, blah, blah. He says, and I says, no, sir, please let me explain. I had to let one go, and I wasn't sure how loud it would be, and I didn't want to embarrass myself. But now that I've had to tell you this, defeats the whole purpose. And it fell out. I just couldn't stop laughing, much like you, Carl. So he says, you know what, lady, I wish at least one person a day would say to me, you know what, I got a fart. You know what, my job, I hate my job. You know what, I hate my coworkers. You know what, the only difference between you and me is that you have a place to go. Just once a day. And I wasn't expecting his reaction, really, but I felt connected to him and being able to take the L, for my ego to take the L. And sometimes your ego has to take the L to lift somebody else up. And that is that moment. Sorry I had to share it with you, but it seemed to fit.
All right, I'm gonna have to do this to Marie. Marie, you have to follow that.
How the heck can I do that? What I've been thinking of is if we just stay open, there are a lot of possibilities out there every day. It's happened to me, I don't know why, but about 3 or 4 times now I'm doing my walk, which I try to do every day. And there's a piece of mail on the ground. And I'm like, okay, who does this belong to? And I just walk over to the address and put it down. And last week I was just passing by was a lot of bushes where I live. And I see this thing in the bush. I'm like, that doesn't belong there. That's blue and white. I pick it up and it's a Amazon package for somebody. It took me a while to figure out where they were and I put it on their stoop. But, it's little things like that that make me smile, little things that that all of a sudden come up. And for the last year or so, all of a sudden, I don't know how it came about, but I live in a garden apartment and all of a sudden, a couple of the elderly people started calling me for little things. And then I wound up being like, now it's like, okay, Marie, can you do this? Marie, can you do that? Oh, I need your help. I need your help. And they're always so apologetic. And I say, listen, when I get to be your age, I hope somebody's around to do this for me. And that makes all the difference in the world. And that's it.
That's great. That's beautiful.
Couldn't follow the.
I know we haven't gotten to everybody yet. We have one more question, but we're running a little bit late right now. We have one more video to watch, and we're going to get to the rest of everybody. But we heard in that video about how Mother Nature tries desperately to get us to look out for each other. So we're going to watch another video now that explains this a little bit more. This is from a great movie, Crossroads, where world famous scientists and thinkers explore the human condition. You can look it up. I think we're going to post it in the chat, the link. It's an excellent film. It's free to watch, and it will also lead us into our next question. So let's watch the next video.
We began to think of emotions as having a kind of collective identity, as if they're emotional stampedes in human populations, a kind of a quiet riot that is just below the surface at all times. Because when we mapped this network, we were able to find clusters of happy and unhappy people in the network, and we were able as well to show that happy people are able to influence others to become happy, and that happiness can spread from person to person to person to person.
And it's this kind of view of the human superorganism that has really started to change the way we think about ourselves as human beings. We are connected. We are connected in ways that these other social species are, like schools of fish and flocks of birds.
Animals have this. So-called primitive people have this. We seem to have lost it through our intensive egoistic orientation. If you recover this connection, then we will behave with greater solidarity to each other. We will extend our solidarity that exists in a family. We can extend it over larger areas, ultimately to the whole human family and to the living environment.
We can encourage people in all walks of life, in all kinds of organizations, to come to the notion of true global family and implementing the kind of world we really all dream of.
What has increasingly been found is that the happiest people have vibrant social networks. They work hard at cultivating the relationships with other people. So it's the togetherness, the bringing people together that brings people the most joy.
All right. There's the second one. And so our second question now is, what's the trick to being happy? There's, it's a trick. There's a way that you can become happy. When you're feeling unhappy, there's a trick that there's tricks that you can do to create and generate happiness. So let's start off here with Ilana.
Thank you, Gary. It's really, I mean, from the last question, I feel that it's really the experience we have together, like really connecting to other people, doing something nice to other people, just feeling somebody else that, you know, he cares for you, or even when you see that act, it already makes you feel good. And I think that's going to make us much happier if we're going to just, it's small things, but from these small things, if we'll do it more and more, we're going to build a beautiful world around us instead, you know, of producing bad energy and, you know, treating each other like it's our enemy. So that's the opposite to that.
I know it's a game changer. We can change the world. Al, it's nice to have you back. And Al's camera is not working. He's having camera problems, but we love having you here and love to hear what you have to say.
Okay, terrific. To piggyback on what Ilana said, I've noticed that sometimes even when you're very unhappy, your mood can change in an instant. And one of the ways to do that might be to try to force yourself to smile. That sometimes works, sometimes doesn't, but you know, it's a low investment, so it's worth a try. But another thing, no matter how many problems you have, sometimes if you see someone else who's obviously having problems and just try to focus on helping them, even a small help, it can, first of all, distract you from your own problems, and you know, realize that other people also have problems. You're not the only one. Makes you feel connected even in that sense. And that can make you less unhappy, and it can last for quite a while.
Thanks for that. I think we have a room full of people here who make life more enjoyable for people around them. You just know how to make people happy. Elisa, how about you?
Yeah, it's easy to continue after Al. I think what really helps me is when I'm, you know, upset or I'm in a bad mood, I just stop thinking about myself, why I'm upset, what's bothering me, what's not happening the way I wanted, expected, or anything like that, and start thinking about you know, other people, about oh my gosh, I didn't talk to my friends for a long time, how are they doing? You know, I can, you know, think about what can I do for my daughter, what can I do for my neighbor. There's plenty, if you just start thinking about what you can do, but not think about you, poor me, being upset, you know, it's a cure. I think it's a cure.
So true, very true. We need to all do that. Dan, what's the trick?
Trick is to understand how it works, that it's not random, and that there'll always be people that are sad. That's a normal thing of life, but there'll always be people that are happy. So it's up to the happy ones to help the sad ones.
That's true. Brandon.
Well, to read an answer from the Facebook, it says, by making those around us happy. That was from David on Facebook. But I agree with him 100%. If you make people around you happy, you're happy.
That's true. Let's see. Speaking of Facebook, Maria from Facebook says, everything starts from small things and then it becomes your second nature. Imagine if every human being starts doing just these little things for each other, the entire world will become the best place to live in peace and harmony. And yeah, let's see, Judy, what's your trick?
Simple, just reach out. It's so easy just to make a phone call, wherever you are, smile, and it's contagious. So just be a good communicator.
Paula, back to you. You're full of tricks.
I think the trick is to just try to be a good person, and like it was said earlier, not to expect anything in return, and try to do everything with a smile if possible.
True. Roberta.
Well, I would say this may be, I would say join Open Diner, but that's Thursday nights. I'm usually happy. But every other night of the week, the other 6 days, I would say if I'm down or work was tough or something was going wrong in life, I would call a friend or speak to family members or something and get out of myself. Because by myself, we could just go into a hole that you can't get out of. But you speak to somebody else, even if you hear somebody else's problems, they're not as bad as yours, you start feeling better. No, I'm only kidding. But if you speak to somebody else and they start pulling you out, like someone here said, I think, Dan, you pull somebody else out when you're up, and it works, but speaking to someone else about anything, it'll help you get out of your own situation. You won't start thinking about yourself anymore.
Yeah, and when it's not Thursday night, you invite some friends over and pull up YouTube and start watching some old episodes of Open Diner together. Isn't that a great idea? Let's see, Shirley, since you got your mic open.
Hang in.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm good. Okay. I think one thing we didn't mention was the temperament of the person itself. Are you an optimistic person or a pessimistic person? I can remember one of my colleagues said to me, "How come every morning you come in with that stupid smile on your face?" And I said, "Oh, I found a happy hour in the morning," which, but I have to ask, is your glass half empty or half full? And ask people that. Now, for me, personally, I'm just glad I have the glass.
I think my glass.
So I'm a neurotic optimist.
That's a good thing to be. I'm pretty much the same way. Siv.
Oh, how to continue? Yeah, I have one trick actually, because I'm really shitty scared to fly. I mean, shitty scared to fly. I even been in the cockpit with a pilot. Really terrible. But still, I'm flying, and every time this anxiety gets me, I start to think about friends and family. And when I'm really in this mood of really being shitty scared, then it's on the point of being paralyzed. I just start to name friends and family, and I try to count like that. I don't mention the same person again. So I just say the name, and then I try to start to think about what is this person doing, what is that person doing. I hope they are doing well, and this is always getting me out of it. So to think about others, I think that it's a really good trick to start to think about others.
Thanks. That's a great way to do it. We're about out of time for this whole segment. We didn't get to everybody for the second question, but we loved everybody's response. And I hope everybody learned a little something from each other tonight. Maybe picked up a couple tricks, some tips from each other on how you can be happy yourself and how you can make others happy. I think it's really important. That's why we have to listen to each other, because we don't know everything, and but together we do. Together we know everything. So now we're going into something that will make us really happy. We have our open diner dance. And I know Wendy hasn't been here before. You're going to love this. Yeah, you're going to love this. This is fun. This is really fun. We're going to chair dance. We're going to play some nice happy music. And we're going to go around and different ones will be spotlighted. And when you're spotlighted, do a little dance, you know, make something up. And everybody's going to copy what you do. So you'll know that you're being spotlighted because your picture will be really big on the screen, and it's fun. There's everybody loves doing it. You're gonna by the end you're gonna go, why have I never done this before? This is amazing. So anyway, let's get it started, and let's have some music.
Said the bat to the rooster, let me tell you something, mister. For me, flying in the dark is like walking in the park. So cover your eyes and chill out, and you'll see better, no doubt. If you shut your eyes, you can see the light, and you can tell if it's day or night. So what's your choice? To be a rooster or a bat? Imagine that. Answered the rooster to the bat. My friend, let me set you straight. Day or night, you do not mind, only because you are blind. So open your eyes and I'll bet you'll never want the sun to set. If you shut your eyes, you can see the light, and you can tell if it's day or night. So what's your choice? To be a rooster or a bat? Imagine that. Bat and rooster then declare they'll go together everywhere. Rooster will lead in the day, at night bat'll show the way. And off they went, the two friends, touring the world hand in hand. If you shut your eyes, you can see the light, and you can tell if it's day or night. So what's your choice? To be a rooster or a bat? Imagine that. A rooster or a bat? Imagine that. Or you could be both, a rooster and a bat. Imagine that. A rooster and a bat. Imagine that.
Yeah. All right. That was great. So now we're going to move on to, well, we're going to wrap it up.
I thought we had to answer, are we going to be a rooster or a bat?
I think I'd rather be a rooster. Anyway.
Would you rather
I am a rooster. I have
Would you
a
rather
rooster
be a-
according to the Chinese calendar.
Do you? You
A
are a
rooster or a
rooster.
rat?
I thought you said you have a rooster. Okay, so thank you all for joining. Now that we're all miserable. Just kidding. That was really great. I had such a good time, such fun. Really, I love these Thursday nights. So every Thursday night at 6:30, we'll be here. So come back. 6:30 Eastern time, 5:30 Central time. And we have a slide here with all the links where you can find us. So please click, share, and subscribe to us here. You can see past events on Facebook and YouTube. And make sure you hit the bell on Facebook to receive notifications about future events. And you can RSVP for future events on Facebook and Meetup. All right. So thank you so much, everybody, for coming. We get along great, don't we?
Thank you, Carl.
This is so great.
Thank you, friend.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Have a
Bye.
good week, everybody. Smile, smile.
Yes, happy 4th.
Smiles, everybody.
Next Thursday.